Hi guys, if you've been following our bi-weekly videos on the actual running of a driving school and scaling that we've been doing on a day-to-day weekly basis, you'll be aware that I've mentioned that we're going to look a little deeper into some of the various aspects that we do. And in this video, we're going to have a look at custom reviews, and why they are so different than the usual type testimonials. Why you need to give your students or customers some help in compiling them, and why it's extremely important that you take control over them as to where you decide to publish them. So we're going to pop across now to our Facebook page, and I'll explain to you the process that we use. Hi guys, I wanted to share this quick video with you covering off custom reviews and why they are just so powerful to overcome the price issue and so different to the usual type testimonials. Now, we all know in this industry that recommendations and referrals are by far the biggest source of new customers. But very, very close to that is custom reviews. And I've been in the industry for 20 years, and I constantly hear ADIs bemoaning the fact that they're not paid what they're worth. But the brutal truth is that, generally speaking, that's your own fault, because I'm going to show you in a second a few of our major competitors in my local areas, and they're doing nothing to overcome the price issue. Now, you have to bear in mind that the vast majority of the general public, both students and their parents, think that all driving instructors are the same. You know, we're all qualified, so therefore why would we be any different? And when they go visit your Facebook page, or they go visit your website or your GMB listing, unless you give them some reason as to why they should pay you more money than they can get from someone else, why would they do that? And one of the finest ways to do that, and we've been doing this now for over 7 years, is to have in-depth customer reviews wherever they go. And that will warm them up, because there's nothing better than having a third party sing your praises. But don't make the mistake of thinking I'm talking about testimonials here. A typical testimonial where a student says, "Oh, John was a brilliant instructor, I couldn't have passed without him," to be honest, has very, very little value. It's good for the ego, but apart from that, it's not really going to sell your driving lessons. Ideally, you need an in-depth review like this one, where someone is actually giving the exact reasons why they chose your driving school. Okay, so in this case, we can see because of good pass rate, I also wanted a friendly driving instructor. Now, for other folk reading this, this may well resonate with them. Now, when you've got a selection of these covering off different things, then what you're doing is countering all the negatives. And in most cases, this will overcome any price issues, and instead of them asking you how much do you charge and comparing you like for like, they're more inclined to come to you on the back of the information that they've just read. Okay, so I expected learning to drive to be harder than it actually was. It really helped having a good instructor like my Gary Dickens, who was brilliant methods, who made it easier than it sounded. Yes, I'll be recommending school to others. I really enjoyed my lessons, and much more than I expected. Nothing could have been improved. Very pleased. Now, I'll show you a few other examples as well. But it's not just a case of getting these reviews. It's how you're going to publish them. Because again, I'm going to show you a few examples of my major local competitors. And instead of going reviews, they go with test passes. Now, yes, of course, having test passes on your Facebook page and your website is important. But a test pass is nowhere near as powerful as a customer review. Okay, and then the other major factor here is that when these are published, like this one to our Facebook page, this young lady was from Taunton. So then we have a link going to the Taunton page on our website, because otherwise, if you don't put a link or a message, it's a one-way street. There's no call to action. You're not telling them to do anything. Whereas when they read this, they can click this link, and that will take them across to the relevant page on our website, where we can continue to warm them up with further reviews and other information. Because we use our Facebook promotions in conjunction with Messenger and ManyChat, having this is extremely important as well, because then we're encouraging them to message across. And we're currently receiving almost 30 inquiries a week from Facebook alone. Okay, so if we move down, here's another one. So again, given the reason why they chose our driving school, and this time they're coming up with something different. Again, she's saying it a lot easier than she thought it would be. Now that's extremely powerful, and people like to hear that it's going to be easy, not difficult. And then she's praising her instructor, but more importantly, she's giving the reasons why. So in this case, Tracy, teaching went at the perfect speed. She was very clear and worked on areas until I was comfortable. She was also very friendly. This is extremely important to this young lady. Once again, there's the link to our local page, and there's the message. And okay, so here's test pass. This is what a lot of our competitors do. They just use test passes. Now, if you read this, this is nowhere near as powerful when it comes to gaining new customers. We have to have them because we have to prove that we're getting test passes, but nowhere near as powerful. But once again, it's still got the link. In this case, it's going to Bridgewater because that's where the lad was from. Okay, the last one then on this example. So once again, the reason for choosing. Have great support and instructor with a smile. I found learning to drive to be better than expected. So once again, that's the third one now saying that. Amazing teaching methods. I will be recommending the school to others because you guys are incredible, perfectionists and professionals. Don't really feel there's anything you can improve. So again, these are really, really good. If you got a bunch of people looking for driving lessons and this shows up on their Facebook feed, there's a good chance that you're going to get them over your competitors. Once again, there's the link and there is the message. Now, once you have these in place, of course, you need to be posting them to your Facebook business page. But then, of course, you've got the option to boost them, and you can sort of put them out to probably best part of 5,000 people for less than 10 quid a week. And this is really starting to get eyes then on your driving school and the good work that you're doing. Okay, so let's just take a quick look at our major competitors then to see what we're up against. So here's Green for Go, and we'll have a look at there. So again, what they lead with is test passes, and they explain about their test pass. And I think the other big mistake they make here, and that's standing their student right in front of their livery. So you pay all this money to have your vehicle liveried up, and then you go and place an object in front of it, which seems a bit barking mad to me. Okay, once again, here's another test pass, not a review. And this time they're advertising the local college rather than their own driving school. And again, does this really sell driving lessons? Here's another one. Once again, at least they've got him stood to one side this time, but the livery doesn't show up that great. Another one with the door open and the livery obscured again. Once again, it's a test pass. Here's another test pass. And again, we're hiding the livery. Once again here. So you get the point. Now do one more. So this is Sally's, also a competitor of ours. At least we can see the livery this time, which is a really smart thing to do. But again, it's just a test pass. Here's another one, test pass, and barely 2 lines on this one. So this is almost, I would regard this as lazy marketing because no effort has been made here whatsoever. There's no link to take them to a website. There's no message for them. It's a one-way street and probably next to useless. Not sure what that is, but okay, we scroll down, here we go. So at least they're getting their livery in, that's something. But, you know, you really need to be linking these back to your website. Okay, so if we pop back to our own page here, so now you can see the difference. So, and you'll notice in all our pictures, the livery is clearly on show, like so, because this is the most important part. Yes, we want people looking at the young lady, but subconsciously they always need to be seeing the name of our school for promotional reasons. Okay, so let's assume then that somebody is let's assume that someone is looking at this on their news feed, and they think, I'll go check these out because this looks really good. So they click the link, which is made very easy for them. And then they go across to the Taunton page on our website. And what they find, without clicking or doing anything whatsoever, is another bunch of reviews. So we have reviews down the left here. We have reviews on the right. We have the core message down the middle. And then, of course, we do need to put a few latest test passes in just to show that we do get them. But the main point about with this, and we've studied website conversion now for many, many years, is that you can't rely on people clicking on reviews, clicking a button to go find your reviews. They need to jump off the page and hit them in the eyes immediately. Okay, so we're looking at a desktop, and on a mobile device, you'll need to rearrange them differently because, of course, the lack of space. But custom reviews are so important. You can see here that we also use Messenger as our live chat because if they click through here, then they'll go into an automated sequence using ManyChat, of which I've covered off in a different tutorial. And finally, another reason for using these is for your Google My Business listing. So you can see I've done a search for driving lessons Taunton. We come up number 1. In Google's 3-pack here. Probably the most desirable place to be online right now because, of course, it will highlight your reviews, and it's also extremely good for SEO and ranking. So the more reviews that you're posting to Google, the more likely it is that you will get yourself into that 3-pack. Okay, so let's pop back then to our reviews. So the problem we all face is that you may well do a fantastic job with your student. They pass their test and you're the best thing since sliced bread. Unfortunately, your students don't know what to say that will help you to sell your driving lessons, because them praising you is one thing. Them saying something that will help to sell your lessons is something completely different. And that's why we go with this approach. Now, Brooke, in this case, she hasn't come up with this on her own. And if you give someone a blank piece of paper and ask them to write you a review, it is quite difficult for them because, as I said, they don't know what to say. So we use a template system. And this is the kicker to all of this. And we've used this system. It's been so successful. We've now been using it for probably over 7 or 8 years. So when someone like Brooke passes her driving test, we send her out a letter in the post, and it's an A4 letter. Okay, so we're bucking the trend straight away here because we all know everything's moved online and everybody tends to email or text because it's easy, but in a way it's lazy marketing. And sometimes you need to do the hard work to make the selling really easy. So we send Brooke a letter, as I said, an A4. And inside of that A4 envelope will be a really nice parchment test certificate. And on that will be personalised, and it will say, congratulations, Brooke, star driver. And it's signed off by me as the driving school owner. Now, if you're listening to this and you're a sole trader, you may well be thinking that you already have that personal contact with them. But of course, as you start to scale, and these test passes are coming in from your franchisees, you're not going to have that personal involvement, and therefore you need to be making contact with them. So as I say, it's signed off by me, and then in return for giving them this nice little gift, we asked them if they would fill out a questionnaire for us. Because that would be extremely important, and because our business is based on customer reviews, we basically asked them 8 open questions, and it's really easy for them to actually then read the questions and fill in their own answers, because what we've done is guide them through the process. We've pretty much told them what we want answers to. And then when we receive that back, we can compile the customer review. And that ensures that they're saying the type of things that we need them to say. Now, the other important aspect of this is that you need to include a stamped addressed envelope, because they're not going to go to the post office and buy stamps and start trying to find envelopes and send them back to you. That's simply not going to happen. So when you send them the letter, you send them a stamped addressed envelope. All they need to do is fill in the review, put it in the envelope and post it back. And we receive back somewhere between 75 and 80% of all the ones that we send out. Okay, so that's part one of the process. That will ensure that we get a good supply of very in-depth custom reviews that are going to sell our driving lessons. But part two to this is the fact that they've been sent back to us, and then we have complete control over where we publish those reviews. Now, I've already showed you that we publish them on our Facebook page, we publish them on our website, and we publish them on our GMB listing, because we have full control of this procedure. Whereas if we simply ask Brooke to leave us a review, she won't write anything like this in depth if she doesn't have any help. And we are then at the mercy of wherever she decides to leave it. And if she leaves it on a site like Trustpilot, yeah, it'll have some value, but nowhere near as powerful as this, because we all know students have eyes on Facebook, and that's the place for it to show up. And of course, it needs to be on your website for website visitors. Otherwise, you're giving them nothing to choose you other than price. Okay, so there's another part to this as well, and that's when we get to our GMB listing, because these are different, because we can't post on behalf of our student. And getting reviews on GMB is extremely important, as I've already mentioned. So what we do in this scenario is when they pass, we send them an email. And in that email, we pretty much send them the same template, asking them specific questions that hopefully they're not going to reply to them, but to guide them through the information they need to go to Google My Business and to leave us a review. Now, this doesn't work as well, but nevertheless, it does give us, and you can see we've got 25 reviews here. It does work very well. And if I click through to our GMB listing, then you'll see here are the reviews. So 5 stars, 5 stars. But it's not just about the 5 stars, it's what they actually write. And again, they're pretty in-depth. That's because we've guided them through the sequence. Okay, and there's another one there. So you're getting the idea. So guys, this is all about doing the hard work to make the selling easy. And this is a very, very good way and consistent way of overcoming the price equation. Now, to make this work, you need to come up with a template, and you need to have your questions, open questions. You need to send that to your customers in an envelope, and you need to give them something. And as I said, in our case, we give them a parchment paper with a star driver on it, and you need to give them a stamped addressed envelope, so they will return that back to you. And then when you get it back, you put the review together, and then you full control over where you decide to place it. Over at ADI Business Success membership site, our members have full access to this template, and they simply download it, make a few edits, and they can send it out as quickly as that. And of course, they've got the whole procedure mapped out for them. Now, in fairness to people that pay us a monthly fee to belong to that membership, I can't disclose and I can't offer you guys the download. But if you think it would be beneficial for you to pop over to the membership and sign up, you'll be able to download the template and the full procedure to go with it. Or of course, I've given you the information now, and you can construct your own system. But whichever way you decide to do it, you'll probably find it's extremely powerful. and an excellent way to overcome the price issue. Okay, so if that's something you're interested in, as I've already said, you can pop across to our ADI Business Success membership site and take a look at that. Now, custom reviews is just one from over 40 different modules that you'll find in there that are all designed to maximize your back business activities and to help you get more inquiries, get more customers, and to maximize everything that you're doing. Okay, so I'll come back again with another look at a different subject. Bye for now.